This conference will now be recorded.
Operator concepts, is it right?
Sir? Sir?
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yes. Yeah.
Sir, in Canvas app, give access to 106, sir. We have access to 108 and 109.
Okay. So you can discuss with Kaveri regarding about that one, links and everything.
Okay,
Okay.
sir.
So
Okay, sir.
Kaveri, please update the yesterday class recordings. You should update in 106 playlist. Okay. Let's launch the work. And so take the full, I think full attendance. Sai Kiran, Praveen, Mohit, Mamata, Akila, Kirti. Imam is not yet joined. Imam and Sarika not yet joined. Satish is there. Okay, fine. Let's go to 106 batch, 106 ADS batch. So fine, let's go with file, new Python 3. And so yesterday's we are yeah. So yesterday's we are in the operators concepts. From the operators concepts, we are just in so Python operators. In the last class, we are in the membership operator, sorry, identity operator. Now we'll talk about the membership operator. So coming to the membership operator, yeah. So coming to membership operator, so you are need to understood what exactly the membership operator. Membership operator in the sense you have some data, okay, you have some data and you have some group of data, okay, you have some kind of group of data. So whatever this particular data we have it, that it will be available in this particular group of data or not, that we can able to know it, that we can able to figure out with the help of the membership operator. Clear? For that one, we have the two keywords we can use it. The first one is the in operator or in the keyword. So this is the keyword. It will help you to check the okay. So in case of data, so the data which is available in the group of data or not, that we can able to know it with a simple thing with the help of the in keyword. So this is the in keyword. It can help you to use for membership operations. Okay. So let me take some example. I have a data is 13. I have a B which is a list. The list it may have some data like 3, 9, 10 and 34, 100 and 23, something like that. Okay. So I want to know that. So whether B in whether A in A, whether A in B or not, that we can able to know with help of the in operator. Here 13 which is not available, the 13 which is not available in B, so that which was returns the false. For example, I have a data is 34, the 34 which is in a C variable, right? So if I go with C in B, then the C is available, right? So that it was returns the true. Whenever the data is available, when the data is available in a B, then it will be returns the true. When the data is not available in this particular group of data, then it should be returns the false. Okay, same example. If I do with another variable which is the not in operator. So not in operator also, which is the membership operator, but it is quite opposite for the in operator. That's it. If element is not found, then it will be true. If element is found, then it will be returns the false in case of not in operator. Is it clear, or any other question is there regarding about this one?
Anjan, I have a question.
Yeah, sure. Tell me.
Is it same in the case of set tuple? You
Yeah,
have shown the
it will.
example of list, right?
Yeah, it will.
Okay.
So in case of, if I have a set, in case of instead of list, you can go with the set. Even the same thing will happen. Okay, clear?
Okay, Anjan, clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, Anjan, whether
Yeah.
it will differentiate integer and float, or like for example 3.0, whether it will consider it or it will not consider it.
So you're asking about in case of a set, if I have a float data, but I'm looking for a string.
Yeah, for integer, for example.
Yeah, even it is integer, but it's a 34.0. So
Yeah.
34 and 34.0, which is the same for this example. Okay, so that it was returns the true only.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next question. Nice. Yeah. Is there any question regarding about this particular membership operator? Okay. So this is about membership operator, guys. Now let me talk about the assignment operator. Coming to this particular assignment operator. So when we have to assign some data, for example, I want to assign the 10. So here 10 is the constant, right? So here 10 is what? It's a constant. It's a constant. For example, I have the B. So you're assigning the A. In this particular situation, A is the variable, the data is the 10. Indirectly, the B and the A, which is pointing the same data. The reason is that you're assigning the variable to variable. Okay, so this kind of operation, you can say that it's a variable to a variable operation, and this one is the constant to variable operation. Okay, sometimes the equal to operator, assignment operator, what you should do use, we can assign some kind of expression. Expression means what? Which is an equation. First, this equation can be evaluated. The result of this particular equation will be assigning to the C variable. So this kind of operation, you can say that it's expression to a variable. Expression to variable. Clear? So I just want to know it, the data of A, and I just want to know about the data of B. Just want to know about the data of C. Hi Venkat, how are you? Yes, fine. So take it this particular example, guys. Take it this particular example. This is the small assignment operator, but the Python programming language, which is supporting the compound assignment also. What does mean that compound assignment? Compound assignment in the sense combination of assignment and other operator. Okay, for example, here the value of A is 10, here the value of B is for example 20. So I just want to be update the A with the result of A plus B. So this particular situation, before operation A will be the 10. After the operation, the value of a, it will be the 10. Okay, 10 comma 30. So right, so whenever we have this kind of operation, so we can able to use the, or we can use the compound assignment operator. When the left side and right side will be the same variable, then we can combine the this particular operator, so plus and equal to. So combination of the operator with assignment operator, that will be, it's like a compound assignment. So this is the operation which is the equal to the equal to a plus b. Okay, so a equal to a plus b or a plus b equal to, both are the same. Got it? Now let's go with the, let's go with minus. When I go with minus, minus equal to, so this is the meaning is a equal to a minus b. Okay, so a value before that it's a 10. After the operation, 20 minus 10, sorry, 10 minus 20, how much? It will be minus 10. Okay, so this is the compound assignment operator, but here minus with assignment. Let's do other example also. Multiplication. You can apply the multiplication equal to, so a star equal to b, in the sense a equal to a star of b, so that 200 will be the result after the operation. Okay guys, is there any question regarding about this particular membership operator and assignment operator?
Yeah, no questions.
No questions. Okay, okay, fine. Now let's talk about the logical operators. So coming to this particular logical operators, there are there are three operators out there. So there are strictly working on the logical based. Okay, so the first one is logical and. So to performing the logical AND operator, we can use the AND keyword. Make sure that here AND is the keyword. Guys, as of now, how many keywords I introduced? So this will be, we can use the OR keyword. Logical not. We can use the not keyword. Okay, so here AND or not. So now let's talk about the AND keyword or logical AND operation. Guys, I think the logical AND operation from, okay, so logical AND operation. So from your 8th standard onwards, we are seeing this particular logical operations. Okay, so for example, AND operation. When I go with AND operation, you should have the two inputs. You should have the two inputs, input 1, input 2, and you should have the output. So here the input will be, if both are true, if both are true, then only the output will be the true. In any other situation, even the first input is the true or the second input is the false, even the first input is the false or second input is the true, or first and the second both are false, in these three situations this will be the false only. Okay, this three situation, that will be a false. This is the standard rule we are following, not we, everyone following this particular logic only, right? Yes or no? So the Python also following the same thing, but thing is that when the data is the boolean, the above rule is followed by Python if and only if and only if when the data is bool. Okay, otherwise what happens, we'll see. We'll try to apply the data is the boolean, we'll try to apply the data is some other data. Okay, okay, for example, I have a data is true. Okay, so true, this is my boolean data, right? And so both are boolean only. This situation 100% everyone know it, this will be the true only. And if I do that, any one of the input, it doesn't matter first or second. Okay, you can try with other, but I'm trying only with this two. So if we have at least one element is the false, then automatically output will be the false, right? This is the standard rule we are following for the AND operator. But this is the thing the Python is following if and only if the data is a boolean data. Okay, if and only if the data is followed only boolean data. Is it correct or not? Okay, now my intention is that if I use any other data type, for example, I'm using the integer AND operator with a 45, we got the result is how much? It's a 45, not the true or false. If I apply the first input is the 45 and the second input is the 0 or 10, in this particular situation you are getting the 10 only. So for example, if I go with 23 AND operator with a 0, you are getting the 0. If I go with some empty list, and I don't have any elements, and if I do with some 34, this time I'm getting the empty list. See, careful observe here. If I'm applying the boolean data, both the side is the boolean data only. Okay, then the output will be like it's a boolean only. Okay, but thing is that when I changing the data, so you might be confused what will be the result, what will be not the result, that you're little confused over here. Is it right or not? Please confirm me. If you understood this point, then I can stop it and I can go with the next point. If you not understood this particular thing, how you're getting this particular results, then I will talk about that one.
Clear, Anjan, but how least was printed in the fourth step, in fourth
Yeah,
print statement?
yes, now I would like to tell you about that one. Okay, so we have totally 10 data types. How many data types? We have 10 data types out there. Yes or no?
Yes.
So in case of integer data, so the data you can, if you want to representing in a boolean, 0 is nothing but it's a false. Okay, 0 is nothing but it's a false. Other than the 0, anything will be, it's a true only. Otherwise it's boolean data. Is it clear? Just imagine it's a boolean. It's a boolean true. It's a true, nothing but. So if I go with float, so 0.0 is nothing but it's a false. Otherwise, it will be true. Otherwise, it will be a true. In case of complex, in case of the data is a complex, so complex means real number and imaginary number. Both should be 0. Then that situation, or 0.0 or 0.0, anything. It can be 0 or it can be 0.0, whatever it is. Then it should be false. Otherwise, it should be true. Are you following my point? Why I'm telling this thing? I can you should understood when if you go with the different data. Okay. And if I go with the boolean, true means true, false means false. If I go with none, none means it's a default, it's a false only. Okay. But coming to the fundamental data type, if I go with the string, if I go with the lister, if I go with the tuple, you can go with anything, set or dictionary, whatever it is. Okay. So if you go with any sequential data type, if the number of elements is the 0, that means the length is 0, then which means it's a false. If the length which should having at least one element, if the sequential data, if it is having at least one element, then the length it should not be 0, then it should be the true. Okay, this is the 10 data types, and this 10 data types we can able to representing in a boolean with this particular format. Okay, now come to this particular concept. Now we will come to this particular point. So now tell me, in case of AND operator, it's strictly checking the first input only. It should be strictly checking the first input. This is my first input, this is my second input. If and only if my first input is the true, then the second input will be returns. If my first input is the false, then my first input only it will be written in case of AND operator. Okay, did you got my point? Let me write it. In case of Python programming language, AND operator which is not working on the universal thing, it can be in a different format. The thing is that input 1 is strictly checking. Input 1 is true case. Input 1 is the true case. Then result is input 2. Okay. If in case my input 1 is the false case, then result should be input 1 only. Now tell me. 10 means is it true or false? 10 means true or false? I already explained, right? In case of integer data, 0 means false, other than the 0 means it's a true. So 10 means a true. So my first input is the true. If my first input is the true, then what should be the result? Whatever the data we have in input to, that will be the result. So that 45 is the result for this particular example. Okay, let's go with the second one. Second one is a 45. First input is a 45. If the first input is the true case, then result will be the input 2 only. You don't bother about it whether the input 2 is the true or false. You don't need to worry about it. You should strictly checking the first input. That's it. Okay. And for coming to the third one, the first input is the 23. 23 means it's a true only, so that it was written the second one. And coming to the fourth one, so the first input is the list, but the list doesn't have any elements. That means the length should be 0. If the length is 0, which means it's a false. If first input is the false, then what will be the result?
The input 1 only.
So what will be the input 1? It should be the list.
Empty list.
So that we are getting this particular result. Okay. Okay. Clear now?
Yeah, yes.
Yes, Anjan.
So will you want to take it, or else can I send you this document? What will be your prefer? Satish, you can call me after the class, okay? Think you're lagging your classes
It's okay. I
recordings.
will be waiting in this call. What you say? Otherwise, I'll call you on your number.
Okay, please call it, okay?
Okay, done.
Okay, now let's go with the OR operator. When I go with the OR operator, same rule will applicable for the OR. Okay, so if you are understood thoroughly AND operator, then you go with OR operator. In case of OR operator also, it will be strictly checking the input one only, but the results can be changed. If in case my input one is the true, then input one only result. If input one is the false, then it will be go for the second input. So that so here 10. Oh, sorry, I couldn't change it the OR operator. I couldn't change it the AND by OR. So let's change it OR, then try to analyze that example. So fine. Now tell me. Now tell me. So 10 will be the my first input. So first input is the true, then input one is the true. Sorry, input one will be the result. So that here 10 will be the result. Coming to the second one, 45 is my first input. So that will be the true. So that will only returns. And coming to the third one, 23 will be the true. So that it will be written the first input. Coming to the ninth one, first input is the empty list, which means it's a false. When my first input is the false case, then it should be written as the second input. The second input is 34. So that I got the result is 34. Okay. Is this clear?
Yeah, yes.
Yes, clear.
Okay. Now, last but not least from the logical operators that we should talk about the not keyword. Or in case of not keyword, you should go for apply the only single input. Here, if input is the true case, then result will be the false. In case my input will be the false case, then result will be the true. Okay, simple thing. Is there anything you need to understood for this one?
Nothing, Anjan. You can proceed.
Okay, so I would like to give you a small task for you guys. Okay, so the next concept should be like it's a bitwise operators. If you want to understood this particular bitwise operators, so you have to know it how we can convert decimal numbers to binary numbers. Decimal numbers to binary numbers. If and only if you know this thing, then you can able to understood this particular bitwise operators. Meanwhile, you have to know it how you can convert binary to decimal. if you know these two things, okay. So bitwise operators, if you thoroughly understood, then one thing we should understood, we should know it. The first one is how we can able to convert decimal to binary and binary to decimal. If you know these two things, then only the bitwise or operator will be easy. Otherwise, if even if I explain you 1,000 times or 100 times or 10,000 times, you never understood. Okay, clear?
Okay,
Okay,
sir.
Anjan.
So you can come up with that solutions because of it's a mathematics. You can Google it, you can YouTube it, whatever you want it. But end of the day, so before coming to the tomorrow class, what you need to know actually how we can able to convert decimal to binary, binary to decimal. The reason is that when I'm explaining the bitwise operators, directly I can convert the decimal to binary and binary to decimal. If you're not understood, that's not my problem. Okay. So that's I'm already tell you, right? It's a mathematical. This is the things you guys are already knowing your childhood itself. Keep practice it. So know it that one, then you can come up with. Even I can give you some tasks by the time of class. If you not do it, I don't have any option. I need to explain one more time, right? The thing is that please save my time with knowing some information before coming. Okay. Hello.
Okay, Anjan.
Okay,
Yes,
sir.
that's for today's class, and we'll catch up tomorrow to finish it the bitwise operators, and then after we will start the conditional operator, that conditional statements, and that is pretty amazing, and control statements, that is pretty amazing. And if you understood that one, I mean to say, we'll have a good basic knowledge of the Python is finished at. Okay. So before coming to that one, please finish this bitwise operators, even though we don't need to use it in anywhere as like data scientist, or else even but as a freshers who are there in freshers need to know it actually. So go ahead with some these things. Okay, so come up with number system conversions. You can concept in a who are working in mathematics. Okay, so number system conversions, go through that one and come to that particular tomorrow. We'll go with more information on bitwise operators. Then next week we will start the control statements. Good enough, guys. Tomorrow we have a session on bitwise operators. Bye. Take care.
Okay, please share this document, Anjan.
Right, sir.
Today's
Oh,
class.
sorry. So bad. But the thing is that Satish, please call me. Okay, so your Harish is not reaching out. He's not lifting the calls. I don't know what happened to him.
Okay, I will call you now after this meeting.